Good day, everyone. Welcome to Technical Drawing 7, Quarter 3, Module 1, Week 1 to 2. For our lesson for this week, we have the alphabets of lines. Here we go. So this module will help you explain the functions of lines in drawing. In addition, this will equip you with knowledge and understanding on the alphabets of lines. At the end of this module, you are expected to first, identify the alphabets of lines. Second, describe the functions and properties of each alphabet of lines. And third, select and use alphabets of lines based on expected output. So read each statement carefully, then choose the best answer among the choices. Write the letter of your answer on your answer sheet. So we have 1 to 10 multiple choice, and then for number 11 to 15, match column A with column B. So this one is the column A, and then match it with the column B. So write only the letter of your answer. Next, so this time while reading the content, try to understand and follow the series of instructions to learn new skills. So are you ready? Here we go. So for what is it? We have here a line. So when we say line, it is one of the most important elements of art. So imagine creating a painting, sculpture, or design without drawing lines, or to divide the paper or canvas into shapes and forms. So think about how important role of a line plays in the creation process. Lines can communicate an idea or express a feeling. They can appear static or active. So lines can define object. So when we say line, it is the path of a moving point such as horizontal, vertical, diagonal, and it is the mark left by a tool. So in example, yung mga tool, we have brush, pencil, pen, and etc. So it defines the position and direction of a design, image, or form. It also has different types including vertical, horizontal, diagonal, contour, or a combination of these. So it may be curved, straight, thick, thin, smooth, long, short, and so forth. It is used to create shape, pattern, texture, space, movement, and optical illusion in design. Also, it allows artists to demonstrate delicacy or force. It can also express various moods and feelings. Yan. So, a drawing is made up of different lines. Each line represents something. So a surface, a hidden surface, an extension of a surface, a center of a hole, or a line with dimension on it. In order to make the drawing easier to read and understand, each kind of line is drawn with a different line weight. Lines have different types, thickness, and their shapes have their own meanings. These line symbols used in drawings or even technical drawings are called the alphabet of lines, which are also known as line symbols. So here are the different alphabets of lines. Okay, so we have first the visible line. Visible line is a thick line that represents features which can be seen in the current view or outline of the object. It is also known as the object line. It is continuous and thick. So the size of the visible line is 0.5 to 0.6 millimeter thick. So this is an example of visible line. Next, we have the hidden line. So hidden line is a medium thick line composed of short dashes about 2 to 3 millimeters long with space between dashes about 1 to 2 millimeters wide. and is also used to represent features that cannot be seen in the current view. So this one is the example of the hidden line. So kung mapapansin natin, kabaliktaran lang siya ng visible line. So yung visible line natin, kaya siya solid na line yung nakalagay dito, it means na ito yung nakikita sa current view ng object. While sa hidden line, ito yung line na hindi siya visible sa current view o hindi siya nakikita. Siya yung nakatagong line. Okay? Next, for the number 3, we have the center line. So, center line is a thin line consisting of two long dashes and short dash draw alternately with a gap of at least 2 millimeters in between. It represents the axis or center of symmetrical shapes like ball, washer, rectangular block, or cube. So, center line, ginagamit natin to sa mga circular object para represent niya yung pinaka-center kung nasan yung center ng object. Okay, next is number 4, the section line. So, section line is a thin line used to show the surface that has been cut. They are spaced evenly at 45 degrees to the horizontal to make shaded effect. So, yung section line naman is ginagamit natin para mapakita yung part na kinat. Okay? So, nire-represent siya nung diagonal lines na parang naka-shade. Okay? So, yun po yung gamit ng section line. Next, we have the number 5, the extension line. It is a thin line that extends from the object in order to show the sizes and location of the feature. So, karaniwan, itong extension line, kadugtong siya ng dimension line. So, pinapakita niya kung hanggang saan yung size ng object na yun. And also the location. Okay? So, next, we have the number 6, the dimension line. It is a thin line with an arrowhead in both ends and used to indicate the measurement of the object. So, ito ay makikita natin karaniwan with the size. Ano yung measurement ng object. So, meron po siyang dalawang arrowhead sa magkabilang dulo at karaniwan yung nasa gitna niya ay yung size ng mismong object. Okay? So, at both ends of the arrowhead, karaniwan dito natin makikita yung ating extension line para makita natin kung hanggang saan yung limit ng size na nire-represent ng dimension line. So, mamaya makikita natin example niyan. So, next we have the long break line. It is a medium thick line consisting of broken and straight lines drawn alternately. So, this is also known as limiting line. This limits the length of an elongated object without changing the size of its view. Okay? So, ito namang long break line, so ginagamit siya to limit the length of elongated object. So, siya po yung naglilimit, siya yung nagre-represent kung hanggang saan lang yung object na yun. So, karaniwan, yung long break line ay ginagamit natin for big objects or large objects. So, kabaliktaran naman ito yung number 8, which is the short break line. So, a short break line is a thick line drawn freehand to show the details that a part has been cut off or broken out. So, ito naman short break line, karaniwan ginagamit siya sa mga small objects. So, pinapakita dito or nire-represent niya yung part na kinat or yung mga cut na hindi nakasali or ni-remove doon sa object. So, short break line yung ginagamit natin doon. Next, number 9 is the leader line. So, leader line is a short inclined thin line with an arrowhead at the end and short horizontal line on the other end. This line is used to connect dimension line with a particular area or point on the drawing. It is also used to show notes or labels. So, ito yung itsura ng ating leader line. So, meron tayo ditong inclined thin line. Pag sinabing inclined, it is also known as diagonal, yung medyo nakapaling na line. Tapos, yung sa dulo niya ay merong horizontal line and then meron siyang arrowhead sa dulo. So, karaniwan yung leader line, ginagamit siya to show notes or labels in the drawing. Next, number 10 is the phantom line. So, phantom line is a thin line that shows positions of part of an object that move represented by two short dashes and one long dash. So, it is used to represent a movable feature in its different positions. So, itong line na to, yung phantom line, para siyang yung center line kanina, pero ang kaibahan niya ay meron siya ditong dalawang short dashes sa gitna. Kung maalala natin kanina, yung center line ay isa lang yung kanyang short dash sa gitna, while yung phantom line is dalawa. So, yung phantom line, it represents the movable features in its different position. So, ibig sabihin, ang nirepresent niya ay mga gumagalaw na object sa magkaibang position. Next is the cutting plane line. So, a thick line used to indicate an imaginary cut through an object along the line. It is made up of two long dashes, broken one end with an arrowhead, and two short dashes drawn between the long dashes. So, ito yung itsura ng ating cutting plane line. So, meron siya ditong dalawang short dashes sa center and then merong two long arrowheads sa magkabilang dulo. Okay? So, inirepresent nito or ini-indicate nito yung imaginary cut kung saan ba kinuha yung cut sa isang object. So, for example, nag-section line tayo, tapos para malaman natin kung saan siya kinuha or saang part siya ng object, so pwede tayong maglagay ng cutting plane line. To better understand how these alphabets of lines are used, study and analyze the illustration below. Observe how the lines are drawn and used. So, for the number 1, we have here an arrowhead. So, it measures 0.35 millimeter. Okay, so this one is the arrowhead. Next, we have the dimension line. So, it measures 0.3 millimeter. So, this one is the dimension line. It indicates the size and position of the object. So, ito yung ating dimension line. Yan. Then next, we have here the extension line, which the thickness measures 0.3 millimeter. So, this one is the extension line. So, lagi siyang nandoon sa magkabilang dulo ng ating dimension line. So, kaya siya tinawag na extension line because it extends the object. So, from this, yan, papunta dito sa ating dimension line. So, pinapakita niya kung hanggang saan yung size ng object. Next, we have here the center line, which measures 0.3 millimeter. So, this one is the center line. So, kung makikita natin dito, ito yung ating center line. Ayan. So, horizontal, tapos merong short dash sa gitna, and then horizontal line ulit. Okay? So, pinapakita dito kung nasan yung center ng object. Next, we have the phantom line. So, it measures 0.3 millimeter. So, this one is a phantom line. So, this one, the straight line, short dash, then another short dash, and then another straight line. So, again, the phantom line indicates the moving object. Next, we have here the hidden line. So, this one is the hidden line. Yan, yung mga dash na putol-putol, tawag natin dyan ay hidden line. Okay? So, pinapakita dito yung mga objects na hindi nakikita sa ating outline view or dun sa ating current view. So, ibig sabihin, it can be at the back Next, we have dito sa ating left side, the short break line. Yan. So, it measures 0.6 millimeter. So, this one is the short break line. So, kung mapapansin natin, ang short break line ay irregular ang kanyang lines. No? So, hindi siya pantay-pantay. So, para siyang pinunit. Ganon. So, ini-indicate dito or nire-represent niya yung object na na-remove. Then, next we have the section line. So, this one is the section line, yung meron diagonal na parang naka-shade. So, ibig sabihin, ito yung line na hindi nakasali or ni-remove na. Okay. So, next we have the visible line. So, it measures 0.6 millimeter. So, this one is a visible line. So, ito yung pinaka-outline ng drawing natin. So, yan. Lahat ng lines na ganyan yung itsura, yung solid lines. So, ang tawag po natin dyan ay visible line. Next, we have here the note. So, pag sinabi nating note, ito lagi yung kadugtong ng leader line. So, this one is a leader line. Tapos, sabi natin, ginagamit yung leader line to represent a note or label. No? So, dito, sa leader line na to, ang nakalagay sa kanya ay note. Ibig sabihin, yung size ng radius ng circular picture. Ano ba yung radius? So, ito yung sukat ng circular feature ng isang object. So, ano yung kanyang radius? So, ang symbol niyan ay yung circle na merong slash. So, dito, ang measure ng ating radius is 1.5 millimeter. Next, punta naman tayo dito. So, we have here, dito sa ating circular feature, makikita natin na merong visible line. No? So, ginamitan po siya ng cutting plane line. Ito yung cutting plane line natin. Ayan. So, yung cutting plane line, makikita natin na mas in-enlarge yung part na to, yung part ng circle. Okay? And then, dito makikita natin yung measurement ng center line, which is 0.3 millimeter, and the chain line. Yan. And the radius, of course. Okay? So, yan po yung gamit ng alphabets of lines para madali nating maintindihan yung drawing. Madali natin siyang mai-interpret. Yan. So, there are 7 primary functions of line. So, these are the following. So, first, to convey its own intrinsic beauty. So, second, to divide or limit an area or space. Third, to delineate a thought or symbol. So, para nga ma-interpret natin, mas maintindihan natin kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng object na yon or ano yung features ng isang object. Number 4, to define form by edge or contour. Number 5, to catch and direct the eye or tonal gradation. Number 6, to produce a gray or tonal gradation. Number 6, to produce a gray or tonal gradation. And number 7, to create design or arrangement. Okay, so going back to this example, so makikita po natin na yung alphabets of lines, kumbaga kaya siya tinawag na alphabet, kumbaga sa letters, ginagamit natin, di ba, yung mga letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G, para basahin yung thought ng context or ng text. Okay? While dito naman sa alphabets of lines, ginagamit naman natin tong different types of lines na to para ma-interpret yung object. Okay? So, imagine, drawing lang siya, pero maiintindihan mo yung design niya. Maiintindihan natin yung gamit ng object. Kung alam natin at naiintindihan natin yung different types of lines na ginamit sa kanya. Okay? Kaya po siya tinawag na alphabets of lines. So now, after completing the lesson about the line and alphabets of lines, let's check the level of your understanding by answering the series of activities and assessments. So we have the what's more. So For the independent activity 1, so imamatch nyo lang po itong column A dito sa column B. So, letter lang ang isusulat. For the independent assessment 1, write down the line. So, dito naman, i-identify natin yung alphabet of lines na ginamit dito sa bawat object. So, let's say for example, number 1. So, nakaturo yung line natin dito. So, anong type of line or alphabet of line yung ginamit dito sa part na to? Okay? Then, for the number 2, so ito naman yung tinuturo ng ating arrow. So, anong type of line yan? So, sulat nyo lang yung sagot sa inyong answer sheet. So, ganyan din yan. That is 1 to 10. Next, for the independent activity 2, so the title is the bottom line. So, ang gagawin nyo lang, identify the alphabets of lines being described based on their functions. So, identify nyo lang yung lines na dinedescribe dito sa bawat number according to their function. So, sulat nyo lang sa answer sheet, that is 1 to 5. Next, we have independent assessment 2. So, we have, I got that line. Okay? So, for the direction, choose the best description on the following alphabets of lines. And then, write your answer on your answer sheet. So, dito, for example, number 1, short break line. So, piliin nyo lang kung ano yung best description para sa short break line. So, letter lang ulit yung susulat. That is 1 to 10. Next, for the independent activity 3, we have the title, Draw the Line. Okay? So, for the direction, draw the given alphabets of lines inside the box. Write the answer on your answer sheet. So, dito, we have 10. Okay? So, for example, visible line, sa tapat niya, ito-drawing nyo lang yung visible line. Okay? So, on and so forth. So, next we have the independent assessment 3. So, master line. So, for the direction, analyze the given feature at the center and identify the alphabets of lines used in the figure. Then, draw them inside the corresponding boxes. Write your answer on your answer sheet. So, dito, ito-drawing nyo lang, paghihiwalayin nyo lang yung types of lines na ginamit dito sa center. Okay, so like for example, number 1, draw the visible lines, and number 2, draw the hidden lines. So, paghihiwalayin lang natin yung dalawang types of lines, and then ito-drawing natin siya sa loob ng box. So, for example, hidden line. So, this one is our hidden line in this object. Okay? So, gawin lang yan natin dito. So, drawing lang tayo dito ng hidden line. Siyempre, mas maganda kapag gumamit po kayo ng ruler. Ayan. So, yan. So, gagayahin lang natin yung object na nandito sa hidden line papunta dito sa box sa number 2. Okay, so ganun din sa number 3, draw the center line. Sa number 3, draw the dimension line, and number 4, draw the center line. So yung dimension line, sabi natin, ito yung nag-i-indicate ng size, for example, and then the center line, siya yung nagre-represent ng center ng isang object. Okay, so ganun din yung gagawin sa 5 hanggang number 8. Next, for the what I have learned. So, to summarize what you have learned in this module, complete the statement below. So, write your answer on your answer sheet. So, fill in the blanks lang to. Isusulat lang yung sagot sa inyong answer sheet. So, next, for what I can do, using a pencil and ruler, copy the illustration below on a blank bond paper. Be reminded to follow the correct properties of alphabets of lines. So, dito sa activity na to, kopyahin nyo lang siya sa isang long bond paper, and then siguraduhin na tama po yung mga alphabets of lines na gagamitin ninyo. So, gagayahin nyo lang yung nandito sa sample. Then last, for the assessment, so this one is multiple choice. So, letter lang ulit ang isusulat sa inyong answer sheet. Yan. So, for the additional activity, so on a blank short bond paper, copy the given illustration and observe the required alphabets of lines. Write your answer on your answer sheet. So, dito sa ating additional activity, idodrawing ulit ito sa short bond paper. And then, tingnan kung ano-ano yung mga alphabets of lines na kailangan dito sa object na to. Okay? So, tingnan kung ano-anong alphabets of lines pwedeng isulat or i-label sa tapat ng bawat lines. Okay? So, yun lang po. Kung may tanong, mag-chat na lang sa GC and then don't forget to answer your summative test. Yeah. So, thank you and God bless.